Hello there guys, welcome to Tompa Sensei for your first ever episode on this channel, and we're going to do both Naruto, Boruto content in terms of characters' powers, abilities. We can also later down the line do explanation videos, theories videos, maybe versus battles. So I'm gladly welcome you to join the Tompa Sensei's 4-man cell team, or it could honestly be a real drag, because that's what Shikadai Nara and Shikamaru would say. So yes, this video going to be around Shikadai Nara, and both him and Shikamaru is very lazy guys, always saying what a drag it is. But if there's one thing they have in common, is that they are very smart people. Now Temari, his mother, is also that, and it can be pretty scary in terms of Shikadai's potential, having both of them as his parents with extraordinary intelligence and battle knowledge, powers, and so on. Now Shikadai is a part of Team 10 with Inojin and Chocho, so Inichika Cho continues in Boruto, and Shikadai has been very impressive so far throughout Boruto, being the first person to be promoted in his class to becoming a Chunin. In terms of his strength, Shikadai is really scary to face, since he is just so intelligent, and he's shown that throughout many battles. And when he faced Boruto, he outsmarted him totally. Now this was also because he already knew Boruto's abilities and had prepared himself before that with his father. But even if you show your abilities too early, or if you don't have a counter strategy against Shikadai, he will read you like a book. He will analyze your abilities and weaknesses, and then he will come up with a counter strategy and will probably win. He could keep up the same speed as Boruto in the Chunin exams and with other characters that he has been facing. There's one thing he surprised us with, is that he can actually use the giant folding fan. You know, Temari's weapon she used throughout the whole Naruto series. In terms of chakra, I don't know how much levels he has. We can take Shikamaru and Temari as a reference, and I think Temari was shown to create multiple jutsus after each other, big jutsus under Naruto Shippuden. So she has probably high chakra levels. Shikamaru had limited, he got tired pretty quickly, but that also depends how much he has to use the shadow possession techniques. It also depends which type of opponents he's facing, how strong they are. So I'm just gonna assume Shikadai has pretty good chakra levels, and in terms of chakra natures, he has wind release, so he will be able to perform wind techniques, and then he also has yin release. Right, so it's time to go through his ninjutsus, and of course Shikadai, a member of the Nara clan, can use the Nara clan's shadow possession techniques when they have a neural link to the shadow, and therefore they can extend that shadow, and in contact with someone they can do multiple things. And in the first jutsu he does, which is called KAGEMANE no jutsu, which is referred to shadow imitation technique, if he hits an opponent with that, you get totally paralyzed, you can't move, or he can even make you imitate his own movements. So if he were to hold in a kunai, you will take up a kunai as well, and if he will point it to his throat, you would do that as well, and therefore he could win many battles against his opponent, and that's why it's very useful. But it also kind of depends how strong that shadow is. How strong can Shikadai make that shadow? Now the second technique he can use is shadow imitation field technique, and he used this against Boruto to win, or he would have won that battle if it wasn't for Boruto cheating. And we have never seen this jutsu before, and I like that we're seeing something new here. Shikadai creates a whole field, like a large circle that he manipulates, and if you are in that shadow circle, you can't move at all. So Shikadai could paralyze Boruto's all shadow clones, including himself, and there was basically nothing he could do. The third shadow possession technique Shikadai can do is Kage-Yoso no Jutsu, which is referred to shadow gathering technique, where he is manipulating his shadow to be more compact and solid, and therefore he can take his shadow off the ground and make it into like tentacles. He can grab something on the ground like a shuriken, kunai, a paper bomb, and throw that on his opponent. The shadow possession technique that Shikadai has in his arsenal is one of Nara clan's most dangerous and lethal, because this technique can literally kill your opponent. And I'm not gonna try to pronounce it in Japanese, because then you're just gonna laugh at me, but this jutsu is called the shadow neck binding technique or shadow strangle jutsu. Now this shadow has physical properties, so the opponent will feel it, and this shadow can travel upwards the body and then closer to the throat and then strangle you to death. But you need more chakra for this jutsu. You also need to be closer to the enemy to be more effective, and if it's a strong enough opponent it won't work, and if the opponents manage to escape you will probably be out of chakra, and then you will be in a dangerous position. Style jutsus has Shikadai probably learned from Temari, because some of this is her signature moves that we have seen throughout the Naruto series, and the first one is Huton IMITATION no Jutsu, which is referred to sickle weasel technique. Now, if Shikadai can use it without the giant folding fan, I don't know, but he used it against Urashiki, where you're creating wings that's colliding with each other and creating vacuum pockets that can both trap an enemy in it and then they getting carved up by the sharp wind. And you can also use it for defensive reasons, and you can blow away incoming attacks. You can defend both yourself and others. Huton Tatsu no Ushigato, which is referred to wind style sea dragon, and here you're creating a tornado where you're trying to catch the opponent in it, so they're going to be trapped whilst taking damage. So it's basically very effective as well if you succeed this ninjutsu, and it's making it really difficult for the opponent to escape from it. And if they were able to escape, you have a opportunity to strike them. Next up is Huton Kiryu Rambo, which is referred to wind style air current wild dance. This is more of a supplementary ninjutsu where you're using air currents from your palm of your hands to clear your view if it's like a smoke or it's dust in the way and you can't see and you just want to clear the view. And of course Shikadai can perform the famous Ino-Chikacho formation, where members from the Yamanaka, Nara and Akimichi clan is working together depending on their strength to taking down enemies on the battlefields or when they're going on mission, because that higher their success rate. These three clans has been in close friendship throughout the history and has always been working together. Guys, I honestly think Shikadai has a very promising future, because now he has both his father and mother's technique, Shadow Possession Jutsu and Wind Style Ninjutsus, and that will make him very versatile and can fight many different opponents. He will find even more solutions how he will be able to win against his enemy. And on top of that, he might be using the giant folding fan as well. It can be used for offensive, defensive purposes. You can also fly away with it if you need to escape from an enemy or a situation, or if you need a clearer view of something. So the only thing I'm like wondering is how can he get these techniques to work simultaneously, because if you're going to use the shadow possession techniques, you need to use your both hands. How can you then use the wind styling jutsus at the same time? I don't know, maybe he figured out something. I'm very excited for Shikadai's future and can't wait to see what he has improved when the time skip comes. So thank you so much for watching my first video, guys. If there's something I missed, let me know. And what is your favorite ninjutsu from Shikadai, and do you think he has a promising future? Let me know that as well. Thank you so much for watching, take care, and I'll see you in the next